Hello and welcome to this new episode on series Stainless Steel Know It Better. Today I'll take up different categories and grades of stainless steel. In my last video I have taken up that there are 5 different categories of stainless steel, that is ferritic, austenitic, martensitic, duplex and precipitation hardening. Now identification of these grades is done initially it was done by American Iron and Steel Institute, that is AISI for short, and they have assigned mainly 3-digit numbers to differentiate these grades. Now first grade is AISI grade 200. This 200 series grades, you will have grade 201, 202, 204, 216 and like that. These grades are basically chrome, nickel and manganese grades. These are called 200 grades. These grades are basically non-magnetic as I have mentioned earlier. The second series is the grade AISI 300 series. Now this 300 series grade, most commonly used grades are 304 and 316. There are other grades also. Now these grades basically are identified by their composition, that is these grades must have chromium of course and nickel. These grades have no manganese. Even if manganese is there, it is present in very minute quantity as an impurity. So basically these are chrome nickel grades, and these grades are also non-magnetic as I mentioned earlier. Then there is the grade series AISI 400 series. Now these 400 series grades are basically straight chromium grades. These grades don't have nickel or manganese or maybe other elements, may be present in very small quantities and impurities. So these grades are basically straight chromium grades, and in these grades, the grades which have low carbon and comparatively high chromium are ferritic grades. And again, the grades which have comparatively lower chromium but higher carbon, these are also identified by 400 series, but these are hardenable. These can be hardened because these are high carbon steel. The next grade is the grade ASI 600 series. Now 600 series are basically precipitation hardening stainless steels, which I have mentioned earlier. So these steels can attain very high strength by a particular heat treatment process, which is called precipitation hardening, which is beyond the scope of this class, beyond of our scope now. And finally, we have the duplex grade. These grades are identified by 4 digits and not 3 digits like other. So these grades are basically AISI 2000 grades. So these grades can be like 2205, 2304, 2505 and like that. These are duplex grades, and these grades have comparatively high chromium and low nickel content. For example, grade 2205 will have about 20% chromium and 5% nickel. So these grades are identified by all the grades, as I mentioned earlier, are identified by their composition. Now, ferritic grades, let us take ferritic grades because these are straight chromium grades. Ferritic grades are basically straight chromium grades with comparatively low carbon. These grades basically, comparatively speaking, are brittle, and these cannot give themselves well to welding. They can be welded up to a section thickness of maximum up to 6 millimeter. After that, the thicker sections, we have to apply some other means, and these grades will become very brittle if the section thickness is more than 6 millimeter. Now grade 200 and grade 300 series, they are well adapted to welding, and generally they don't present any problem during welding basically, and they are very ductile, so they are very good for operations like deep drawing, and also they are very good for machining operations. Now the next grade, that is grade 600. These grades, as I have mentioned earlier, these can attain very high strengths, and they have equally good corrosion resistance comparable with most of the grade 300 series. Duplex stainless steel, that is grade 2000 and other, these grades, as they have, as the name implies, these grades have two microstructure. Almost 50% of the microstructure is ferrite and 50% is austenite. But these grades are again magnetic, and these grades have, in anneal condition, about 50% higher strength than the most commonly used grades 300 series. That is 300, grade 304 and 316. So these grades can achieve, in the normal condition, that is anneal condition, they have at least 50% higher tensile strength and equally and matching corrosion resistance. So these grades particularly offer reduction in thickness because of their higher strength. Maybe we can use lower thicknesses for the same amount of pressure. So this is how the grades are identified. That's all for the day. We will take up another topic in the next one. Thank you for watching. Meantime, as I mentioned earlier, those who are interested in making a career in working with stainless steel, they can go to the website www.workingwithstainlesssteel.com. Thank you very much. Thanks for watching.